Most people don't struggle with consistency. They struggle with knowing what to talk about, especially when it comes to their book. They feel awkward, maybe even salesy, and it starts to feel forced because you know the content so well. But the people who want to know about your stuff, they haven't heard about it yet, or they don't know enough about it yet to be able to want to get your book, to hear what you have to say, and to work with you. This isn't salesy. This is just simply a way to speak about your book every day that can actually sound like you and make the impact that your book's meant to make. Hi, my name's Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, international best-selling author of 40 books and counting. Over the course of the last 40 years in business and literally my whole life being exposed in media, I've had the wonderful privilege of working with doctors, lawyers, nurses, multi-billionaires, stay-at-home moms, startup companies, all those kind of things. And what I can tell you is that being visible is so valuable. That somebody is absolutely waiting on you, that they need you to step out, to step up, to do the things that only you can do. Because at the end of the day, they are looking for what you have to say. But they don't know you, they haven't met you yet. And so, because of that, they, that very thing that feels like you've said it over and over and over and over again yourself is really actually the very thing that they need to hear. They haven't heard you say it yet. See, it may feel repetitive to you. It may even feel like something that you've said too many times. But for the person looking for your message, they need you to say it. They need you to say it one more time. And they need you to say it consistently. You see, there's a thing going on. If you happen to be, listening live, there's some stuff happening in the national news that is kind of another one of those situations where it just kind of takes over and you're constantly hearing about it. I think back to during COVID, and it didn't matter what station you were listening to, either at the most, if you got to see your shows, and a lot of them were interrupted, but at the least, every commercial break they were, going back to the thing that showed how many people were sick, how many people had died, all that kind of stuff. And it was just right there in our face all the time. The same thing was true during, especially the first Gulf War, constantly. And we find ourselves very easily stuck to the television, wanting to see the next thing. Well, here's the reality of it. That message that you have, the one that feels like you've talked about it until you're blue in the face, that everybody's sick of hearing it, maybe even the one that if you have kids, they roll their eyes when you talk about it. It is exactly the very thing that people are looking for. Hi, glad to have you here with us. Appreciate it. Varda, it's so important that you share it, because when it gets to that point where you even feel like you've talked about it too much, is exactly the place that you're just beginning to start being visible. Consistency. Okay, we always talk about clarity, and most of the time you're pretty clear on your message. By the time you get the book done, it's really honed and refined. One suggestion I would totally give you as far as clarity goes is go back and read aloud. In fact, what I did, I need to do this again with a couple of my books, but especially my 40th book, is just turn on a live stream like we're doing right now, and read the book aloud. Okay, and you're going to mess up. All right, it's just normal when you're reading. What I would suggest to you is stop for a second, leave a little, audio break there, if you will, and then go back to the beginning of the paragraph or the beginning of the sentence or wherever, a comfortable place to back up to is, and start reading it again. First of all, that's a great way for you to get an audiobook version of your book. But more importantly, you begin to hear it and you begin to see it. Now, what you're going to sometimes find is there'll be places where you're like, wow, that was really off. Okay, when you're done with that chapter, make some notes. You could even, if you wanted to be really visible and valuable, you could even, at the end of that chapter, tell the people, here's the things that I'm getting ready to change in this thing. I'm going to make some notes here, and I'm going to tell you about them right now. That'd be powerful. But, just that reading it aloud. And if you do it aloud in such a way that, that other people can see it, it really is great for you. Jeremiah and Feezy, glad to have you here with us. So glad that you joined us today. Um, the biggest thing about how to be able to talk about your book each day is just to walk people through the why, and most importantly, what's in it for them. We want to know what's in it for me. We all are in that space, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately. And when you can help them see the light of themselves, to feel seen. Kids Anderson, glad to have you here with us. We want to let the people feel seen. I see you. I know what you're going through. There's an old concept, and I'll just tell you straight up, it's a sales technique. It's a way of really connecting with people. And it's called feel, felt, found. I know how you feel because I've felt that way myself. And here's what I found. It's one of the greatest things you can do in your book, too, is have a part in there where you tell them, I get how you're feeling. Here's what I've been through. I want you to know I identify with you. And this is what I found. These are the realities that I now know because I've come through it. People need to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. People need to feel like they're not in the thing all by themselves. Because here's the reality of it. I was having this discussion with somebody just the other day. And I talk about it a lot, but the thing that we're going through is the more often we tend to isolate and feel like nobody can understand what I'm going through. No one has ever gone through this. I often tell the story about when my mother-in-law was going through chemo. She was going through chemo 5 to 7 days a week. We were in the chemo room for hours every single day. And it was a tag team kind of situation where, whichever one of us, because we were also running a company from home, and we would take her and then sit there with her. And often, as is the case when somebody's going through chemo, often they doze off. And there were times when I would go and just kind of visit with some of the other people who were there by themselves. And just really help them see and feel and understand that they were not alone. But every single one of them said, nobody understands what I'm going through. Sitting in a room full of people that were going through chemo. It's normal. So we need to, more than anything else, what you want to do today, glad to have you here with us. What you want to be able to do today and every day is help the person feel seen. Talk to them about what they're going through. Help them know you get it because you've been through it yourself. And then from there, help them see what they can do to be able to take a step, just a step, not change their whole world, maybe not even change the circumstance that they're in, but how to just simply be in a place where they can, have the, 1%, little teeny tiny improvement in what they do. That's all we need to do if we want to be able to be visible and valuable in the day called today. And I hope you'll do it. Every single day is an opportunity, and every single day, the person that's looking for you is looking for you. And the more that we can choose to be where they can find us, the more that we can help people. You don't keep your book alive by promoting it. Yes, you want to have reviews and all those kind of things, but you keep it alive by continuing it in the conversation, having and keeping the conversation going. That's why reviews are so big, is because that's a conversation continuing to go on. And you do that one real moment at a time. I'm so grateful for you. I hope that you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And then until we're together again next time, which will be tomorrow, I hope you have a great week.